One of the things that happened in Matthew chapter 14 was this is where Jesus walks on water, and all the guys were really impressed after that. When Jesus got in the boat and the water was still, they're like, ooh, hey, this guy's really something special. They bowed down and they worshiped him, and they said, truly you are the Son of God. That was in verse 33. And when they first saw him walking on the water and they're in the storm, they thought he was like a ghost or something like that. And of course we mentioned, maritimers, sailors, and those of old and even today have lots of different tales and ideas and stuff about traveling. I mean, there was a time when they thought the earth was flat, and if you sailed too far, you'd fall off the edge of the world. And there was, sea monsters and mermaids and all these different stories they would have. So the idea of sailors thinking that there's a ghost on the water was something that definitely would fit their idea and culture of the time. And it's interesting how people have really different ideas about ghosts and their existence and what they are. You think about it, the idea of a ghost would be a spirit or soul of a person that continues on after they're dead. And there's no scriptural evidence for that idea being something that we would embrace or look at. The only thing I can really think of is like in the Old Testament, if you remember Saul, he wanted to speak to the prophet that was dead, and he went to a witch, and the witch was able to kind of summon the prophet, and then the prophet like rebukes him and is like, what are you doing? Because the Bible teaches to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. It's appointed on the man once to die, and after that the judgment. And so any kind of activity with a spirit or a soul that is dead is very demonic and dark and evil and dealing with demonic powers. And I think a lot of what people see as ghosts and think as ghosts and haunted houses and things like that is really more demonic activity than it is anything else. And it's not anything that believers should be dabbling in. The idea of like seances and summoning up the dead and speaking to them and all this kind of stuff. I mean, you're getting into evil stuff. I mean, that's demonic powers and something that we should definitely stay away from. But anyway, they have that experience, and there's Jesus walking in the water, and Peter calling out, and he walks on the water, and he gets in the boat, and they start to really acknowledge. And of course this happened throughout Jesus' ministry. There's times where they just kind of like, okay, he's the dude, and then there's other times where they're like, is he the dude? Then